Hey everybody, it's John, the history buff. I am back, by the way, from surgery. It was a success so far. Recovery is going well. Thank you for the well wishes. That's extremely kind for all of you who did that. And I am back with number 4 with Philomena, the best of Philomena Cunk. So let's get into it. I hope I don't rip a suture.
First of all, do I call you Richard or do you prefer Dick?
Yeah, no, Richard's good.
You can still act without being posh. You just have to do different roles. Like my mate Paul pretended to be in a neck brace for 6 months to get money from a car insurance company, and he won an award after he'd gone to court.
I killed John Bishop.
Did you?
No, I'm just saying I killed John Bishop would be a odd talking point.
For years, we've asked questions like, is there a meaning to life? How did...
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for starting this off with my mate Paul. It's my favorite thing in the world. I've talked to a couple people, and here in the States, they're just not getting it. So, really want to meet Paul.
Those shoes get in my fridge. And most weird of all, how am I
Wait,
thinking?
what?
For years, we've asked questions like, is there a meaning to life? How did those shoes get in my fridge? And most weird of all, how am I thinking these things?
She's
Next
sniffing
time
the
on
book.
Moments of Wonder, I'll be asking where your lap goes when you stand up.
Mother Teresa said,
That's brilliant. I do love British humor now. I'm a convert, and it's been hard not to watch anything like this.
give, but give until it hurts, which is possibly the sexiest thing a nun's ever said, apart from in rude films.
So sexy and Mother Teresa just don't go together. Only with Philomena. What a great actress.
Luckily, it wasn't long until a charity came along with a name that was very easy to say. Comic Relief.
There's this amazing stuff on his head. It's not hair. It's like a sort of furry gas.
Okay, that's fair game is Donald Trump's hair. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. It's a thing. He has like people tug on it to prove that it's real hair. I don't like I've seen older pictures of him when he was just this like a celebrity, if you want. And his hair has always just been really weird. There's a real great picture where he's getting off of Air Force One, and it's just going like, straight up like that. And the underside of it is really disgusting looking. But apparently it's his.
I've never met Churchill, so the best way to understand him is to ask someone else who never met him.
Which is what Greece looked
That's great.
like anyway back in 2002 when I went there with my mate Paul. He fell off a scooter and took all the skin off his palms. That's not relevant, but it stuck in my head, and I don't think the sight of it will ever leave me, to be honest. The Good Samaritan.
I think the longer I listen to her, the funnier she gets. I've only done 4 videos, because I did the World War I and World War II. And when I'm done with the best of moments, I am going to sit down and watch her whole series on Netflix. I think this is, because I'm missing so much being out of context. But she just gets funnier and funnier.
Who selflessly helped a stranger in need when others had walked on by, probably while pretending to look at their phones.
As well as inventing Minecraft, the ancient Mayan civilization predicted the world as we knew it would end in 2012.
The haves, like the Prince of Charles and Sting, are wealthy, but the have-nots, like the starving and whatever the opposite of Sting is, need our help.
There was this sort of film thing called 50 Shades of Grey. It was like a cross between a romantic drama and a documentary warning women about a maniac on the loose.
She's not wrong. I've seen part of 50 Shades of Grey, and it got really boring quick. At least for me. She's not wrong.
We used to think men were from Mars and women were from Venus, but scientists now believe they both hatched on Earth thousands, maybe even hundreds of years ago. You can see why she falls.
Thousands, maybe even hundreds. That's great.
For him.
Oh, When Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Fantastic book. I think I did read that when it came out, just because I was into reading and there was no real internet to speak of. I guess there was internet, but it's an interesting book. I do recommend people actually read that, and if you want to understand the opposite sex, it's a good read.
He's handsome, he's rich, he flies around in a helicopter, he plays the piano with his tits out, and he's got a secret red room containing the world's biggest collection of bum sticks and things you hit horses with. These...
Sorry, that was 50 Shades of Grey, totally, yeah.
horse monster things are using their wooden headsticks in a primal battle to decide which of them should be in charge. According to Google Translate, Magna Carta is Latin for cardboard volcano. So
Magna Carta. Oh my gosh. Just letting everyone, okay. Interesting play on it. What was that? Magna Carta 12. Maybe you guys know. What year was it if you can test your history knowledge? It was 1215?
Britain had its own parliament, which could stop the king doing what he wanted by a simple process of cutting his head off.
What would happen?
Yeah, that's good. That would they're referring to the moment when, or one of the moments, I assume, when the change came from total monarchy to a monarch as the head, where there's some control on it. It was a long, arduous process to get that way, but anyway, you guys know all that stuff, and I'm probably the one who knows less than you all do.
Happen if we voted to end democracy?
How would we do that?
It was really orange. Like, I think someone had spilled orange on the tapes after they'd filmed it. And it had all plants and trees everywhere, like a posh garden or a flower show, or a really big salad with people living in it.
What?
Why can't we get medicine crisps? You know, because no one likes needles, and everyone likes crisps.
I assume crisps are like cookies or a biscuit, I guess you guys would say in the UK. It's not a bad idea, really. I mean, nobody likes needles.
Not everyone wants to live in the sea. You don't have to be a scientist to know that. You just have to have seen The Little Mermaid. She hated it. What makes democracy?
It's interesting about The Little Mermaid, because right now actually Disney has remade The Little Mermaid. And there's a catch with it right now, is now she's black, and it's caused a lot of fuss here in the United States because, well, for a whole number of reasons, but I don't know, it's for some reason she's not allowed to be black. I don't know why. I think it was because the original Little Mermaid was like a redhead. And probably because Walt Disney, if he were alive, would not approve of that. My gosh, Walt Disney, talk about a racist person.
A better way to pick a prime minister than just letting them take turns.
I'm not sure how this alternative system would work, where you say, we let them take turns.
The government says we need to cut our greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. But if, like me, you don't have a greenhouse, they say you can reduce your carbon footprint by not flying and walking more. But my feet swell up when I walk, which is why I came here in a car.
They couldn't have been real humans because people were writing things about them that would be utterly unforgivable if they were.
When you think about it, thinking about thinking is the hardest sort of thinking there is, which makes you think. Not everyone
I'm guessing that was a philosophy section that she was doing.
thinks climate change is real. This hot topic has split the science community straight down the middle, 90-10. I've got an
Actually, it's true. That's more than 90-10 right now. It's like, I don't even know that there is even 10%. You're talking much more than that. The United States is a great offender of, we have a great history of finding a problem. And I'm just speaking as an American, as I see it. This is only my opinion. But we do have a great tradition of finding a problem and you know, bringing it to people's attention. And in this particular case, it was not just the United States. It was a lot of people sort of rang the bells about climate change, because the climate's always changing. First of all, but that's like a buzzword here in the States. There are people who just don't want to deal with it because capitalism, and it costs a lot of money to change and retool everything. And you know, we're at the mercy of capitalism here in the States. I mean, even our healthcare system has to make a profit. Like, it's really weird. But they still find one thing out of 100 that may be questionable about climate change, and just blast that one thing and the one side of the argument on it. And you know, we're really good at that here. I feel like the rest of the world, you know, not the rest of the world. I know in Europe, you guys are very much on board with working towards reducing the effect of actually global warming. But you know, here we use the term climate change because it's less hurtful, it's less scary, because the climate's always changing. You know, it's this temperature today, on this day, on this year, and it might be a different temperature on this day the next year. And that's the only way that it seems that we can talk about it without people getting upset.
Expert here with me, or have I? Or am I here? Maybe I'm imagining them, or they're imagining me. Or am I? Hello, philosophy lady. Am I here?
Scientists predict the world's
Hello, philosophy lady, am I here?
stock of weather footage will be exhausted by 2050. And never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. If he'd been alive today, just imagine how good his tweets would have been.
It's true.
It's amazing.
Wow, that's a great line. That's excellent. Imagine if Winston Churchill had access to Twitter. Oh my gosh. He once said something along the lines of that, if you give him like a bottle of, what was it? What did he drink? Whiskey, I think. And you locked him in a room for a night, he could write a speech that would make make anybody cry. And yeah, if he had access to Twitter, gosh, that'd be crazy.
To imagine that Churchill literally single-handedly stopped Germany from winning War II with his funny voice and his big cigar. And then one day, he just vanished. Nobody knows where he went. Next time.
That, you know, Churchill's a huge character, and here in the States, he's a big character. We love him. There was a, let's see, when he came into power, he really, you know, the day of the invasion of France and the Low Countries, man, did that guy do a lot of work. And you know, he had a and I'm sure you guys know this. I'm probably preaching to the choir, as they say, but he had a lot of negative baggage with him. Not on, of course, you know, alone just the Gallipoli campaign and World War I, that was sort of pinned on him. I think he was a Lord of the Admiralty at that. I don't remember what his title was. I have to go and check my titles. But if it wasn't for Churchill, I could directly say, I mean, I could say with confidence, I could make a really big argument. I believe you all could too, that without Churchill being in power when he was, and being basically the person he was with his history, I could probably say that the Soviet Union would not have been able to hold off. The United States would not have been able to enter the war, especially in Europe. That would have been a huge thing. There are a lot of these moments, though, that, you know, without a particular thing, it could have changed the war. You know, he was great for his time, and I know one of the worst things that I believe he understood was that he was voted out of office after the war. He was a wonderful wartime leader. He was fantastic. And from everything that I have read and from what I have understood about him, he was perfect, a perfect fit for the perfect time, or a perfect fit for the right time in history. And I believe he was a great. I don't think anyone will ever take that away from him, but I don't think he would work nowadays. He would not. I don't think he would make it very well. He was very bold and yeah, and he was part American. But anyway, Churchill's a great guy. I like him. He was one of my favorite people. He's one of the first people I learned about in history. My dad loved him. I hope you guys do too. And if you don't, let me know why. I'm interested in that.
On Moments of Wonder, I'll be asking, who lives in here and what do they want?
Who does live in there? What are those things for? Was that a? I didn't. I mean, it looks like a phone booth, but you know, I haven't seen it. All right, let me know what you guys think. This might not have been my best one. I apologize. I'm still on the mend, but I'm working on it. Okay. Yeah. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon.